Hey everyone, this is Sheldon and this is my girlfriend Kelsey. So today we're just going to do a very impersonal interview to talk about my channel and also talk about my growth and how I've got to create this channel. So Kelsey's going to ask me a few questions and I'll try my best to answer these questions for you as honestly as possible so that I could provide you a sneak peek into a little bit about my background and why I've kind of come on this journey with you to create this YouTube channel. So over to you, Kelsey.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Yeah. I'm ready for the first question.
Okay. Okay, so he's making it sound like it's a panel, but it's just, yeah, like he said, it'll be just like a conversation. So how long have you been trading?
So I began my journey trading around 15 years ago, so it's been a long time, and it's been more so me learning how to trade from a lot of good mentors that I've had. So it's been reading a lot of books through a long period of time. So I've been reading a lot of books, and my inspiration's been a lot of good traders that have been trading for a long period of time and have been successful, and that's been my zeal and my desire to get more into trading. So the journey began 15 years ago, and it took me 8 of them were just like learning how to trade, reading chart patterns, learning everything that I could about technical analysis, back testing. So that's been my journey into beginning how to trade. And I've kind of gone to the point where I want to share my journey with others because it's taken me 15 years just to learn how to trade, just to know the basics of trading. And I do not want everyone else to go through the same journey of 15 years that I went through. So I want to fast track your career in this journey of trading to make it more easier for you to do so. Okay, so I hope that answered your question.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, long answer.
I'll try to make it short next time.
No, take your time.
Okay.
Okay, so what made you like want to start trading? What was your like motivation?
Okay. So my dad actually got me into trading, and it was more of something that I would see him do for the longest period of time in my childhood. And that got me interested into trading. But for the longest period of time, I had a lot of hatred towards it because we just had one computer in the house, and he would be occupying it for the most of the time during the entire day, and I would never get to play any games or like use it for anything that I could. And that kind of like got me to like really like push myself away from trading. And if you would have CNBC or any of these other stock trading channels on, it would just kind of like make me feel like, oh, I don't want to like get anywhere close to it. But it so happened that as I grew up, I inherited some small bits and pieces of stocks, and I wanted to manage it by myself rather than give it to my dad to manage it. And I thought I'll do a good job at trading it by myself, and that's where I was like interested to know what's the right time to buy and what's the right time to sell, and like what is technical analysis, because there was like supports and resistances, and there's such a lot of terminologies that is used in trading. But I wanted to like get into the fundamentals, learn more about like how could I be a better trader. And through the journey of like trying to master it, learn from like people that have made this as a full-time career, that's what got me so inclined into learning more about it. And I still do it to this day, read a lot about it. But that's my answer for how did I get into trading.
That's good. Such a boyish answer. Stop you from gaming.
That's it.
So you said earlier it took you like 15 years of studying trading, and through knowing you, like I know you've had a few breaks in between those 15 years. So what were some of the setbacks or some of the reasons that you took breaks?
I think one of the major reasons why I took some breaks in between of my 15 years was my passion for mastering the art of trading. And what I thought in my head was that until I master each and every chart pattern, until I master every possible technical indicator, I should not invest my money into trading, and which is good, but at the same time, because you're so far away from the activity that happens in the market, you are paper trading, and it's not really giving you enough practice to really put your foot in the door and like get to know how to trade. And I think me stepping back and like just trying to like look at it from these sidelines did not actually give me enough an opportunity to really learn what I needed to know to be a good and better trader. So I think once I learned to participate in the game and like not just like look at it from like the stadiums or from the bleachers, you could call it, is when I started to become a better trader. So that's something that I would advise anyone as well that is stepping into this journey is don't just paper trade. You could paper trade for a while, but after do paper trading for a duration, start into actually investing small pieces of money, nothing crazy, but maybe like a few dollars here and there, buy some small stocks, because that's going to give you real-time exposure that'll help you in your education path, a more accelerated education path than by doing it like the paper trading way.
So how long have you been off the paper trading game?
So I've been off the paper trading game for like a long period now. It's been I would say for 9 years is where I've decided to like go back and like invest real money, because I feel that's the real like way you would learn. And I would like to also add that like your journey doesn't stop because you've now started investing real money. This is where you learn the most, but at the same time you've got to accelerate your learning curve as well. So what I mean by that is you can't just like be, okay, this month I will just learn candlesticks. No, you've got to learn everything in one, like your Gantt chart view of like the entire learning curve is compressed, because you've got to do everything, because if you don't, you'll start losing money. And it's very demotivating to you if you are not able to be a successful trader. And so that's what gets you going, but that's also what will get you down. So you got to keep both of that in mind. So I think my journey's been where I've started putting real money, investing more time into like all my free times into education, learning more about trading, and that's helped me grow as a trader and also learn a lot more through the process.
That sounds good. Okay, so you've been trading for quite a while, and you've been stepping off the paper trading and really getting in there, getting your feet wet. What made you decide that you want to take the game to YouTube?
I think the major factor into investing a lot of time into YouTube, because it's not easy to just create a video, and that's one of the reasons why you do not see a lot of successful traders creating YouTube channels, because it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of editing. And me personally, I never knew anything about YouTube. Like, she probably knew a lot more than I did about like just anything about video. I'm not a creative person. I'm more of a technical person, and like just understand a lot of analytics, and that's my background. So it took me a long journey just to learn about YouTube, learn about the basics, and it did divide my like time into trading. But my major goal, or my major the reason why I wanted to really invest my time into trading it, or through YouTube, or train others how to trade on YouTube, is the learning path that I had to take was not easy. I had to go through so many books, spend so many hours learning the basics of trading, learning how to really analyze a market in like 30 minutes, because we do not have like hours at a stretch. A lot of you probably are working part-time or full-timers for the matter, and don't really have like the hours to do an analysis to find what's the right stock to trade, what's the right ETF to trade. And those kind of questions take a lot of time to answer. So for me, like spending that many years to really come to like a level where I could now spend that education and the knowledge that I've gained to like empower others to like cut down their journey in education is what my real passion is, to create this YouTube channel.
So there might be some people that are watching and they're like, okay, so looking at all these people that have been very successful, they're billionaires, there are other people on YouTube or books that they can study, different sources they can go to. What would you say for people that are watching your videos and wondering why should I trust this Sheldon Pinto? Like, why should I watch his videos and trust his analysis?
Well, I think like me personally too, like I've learned from so many different mentors throughout my lifetime. And I don't think there is any right or wrong answer. Like, you can gain as much as knowledge as you can, read as many books as you can. The only difference is the path towards being a successful trader. So like finding the right sources, and it took me like, again, like over 15 years to actually get where I'm today. But the journey is long, and it's going to be hard for every new investor, every new trader to sustain that 15-year period of like, trying to dabble yourself, find what's the right path. So another important point is that there is no university course that you could do to learn trading. There is no college degree that you could get or a diploma that you could get to teach you about trading. So trading is a skill set that is something that you have to learn through trial and error. There is no books like that's like this is the manual, and if you study this you'll ace the trading game. So nothing like that ever exists. And the only way you do it is to trial and error, try a few things, see if it works, see if it doesn't work. So I've actually gone through that journey where a lot of times unsuccessfully and sometimes successfully as well. So it's through my own personal trial and error of me losing my personal like wealth or whatever I had accumulated and trying to make that back. So it's my journey that I'm trying to share with you, so that you don't have to go through the same path that I did, and like make sure that you come out successful at the other end of the channel. And maybe it could be you watching like 5 videos, you could be watching 10, or the entire channel. And it's not for me to like create like a big trading course out of this for you, but it's to provide this information free, because I want to share the same knowledge that I have. And something that I would get is also there is a saying that goes, if you teach someone, you actually learn like 5 times better. So that's something that I try to apply to me, is that if I keep this knowledge to myself, it's just me like being kind of like selfish and be like, that's my knowledge, this is something that I learned, I just don't want to share it with anyone. And a lot of traders do that. And like I feel that the more you teach others, the more you give, the more you would receive. And that's just basically what I feel is my reason for this channel.
So in that, like you've mentioned that you've like learned some things in the past, you've made some mistakes, and you've grown from them. Would you say like that you've made it and like you're at a good place, or like where is your journey right now? What place are you at with trading right now, and you're growing and experiencing?
So I think if I was to like summarize where I'm right now, I would say I'm a mature trader. I'm a 15-year-old mature trader, where I have gained so much of experience through my 15-year journey in trading. And I've actually gone into futures, options, stocks, ETFs. Like I've tried everything. And through the journey, like I've gained so much knowledge. And I wouldn't say that like, and don't ever believe any trader that says that he makes like profit 100% of the time. No one does that, and I haven't either. And I've lost like there have been I would say the first 4 or 5 years, or the first 4 or 5 years in my 9 year period or 7 year period of learning was where I started losing money because I did not learn how to really trade the right way. And like those are mistakes that I made that I've now actually corrected by actually learning from those mistakes and creating a journal and creating a trading strategy that's helped me to grow into becoming a better trader. Am I like the most successful trader now? No, I'm not. But I do have the knowledge to empower others that are also on the same journey to not go through like a 15-year course, but to do that in like, a few trading videos which summarizes the best content that took me like 15 years to develop. But I can tell you that I'm at a stage now that I am successful. I am able to sustain growth in my trading journey. And again, like there is no, you ask a millionaire trader how are they successful, they'll be like, no, I want to be a billionaire. And you ask a billionaire trader and they're like, no, I want to be the someone that makes 10 billion. So there's never like what you could call it, like the entire like top of that you could ever reach in your trading journey. There's always one path above, there's one more step that someone else is already on, and it's just more of like a competition. But the competition should be more with yourself than with others, because the more you compare yourself with others, the lower you'll feel and the more disheartened you'll feel. So I feel that's important, is to compare yourself with how you've performed in your last month versus this month. Don't compare yourself with someone else that's earning 6 million in a day, and like you'll see these videos on YouTube, because that's not where your journey is. They've probably been like, spend another 20 years in their journey to become that 6 million a day trader. So yeah, that's something.
And based on like knowing you and like knowing your journey, like I have to say I'm really proud of you for starting the channel, and like not, because I think a lot of people would wait to do something like this until they have reached like $1 million or $1 billion. So I think it's like really good advice for you to like don't let yourself be held back because someone else has done better, they've achieved more, they've succeeded, they have a title behind their name. Like you can start where you're at. And this goes for anyone like just starting with trading. I think you would agree that like start where you're at and just improve dollar by dollar and see where it goes, and don't be disheartened when you see other people on the platform that are achieving so much more. Because if you always stop and like, I guess that's the wrong thing, if you never start because you're afraid of like not achieving, or you're comparing yourself to someone else, then like you're wasting time that you could have been improving on. Yeah,
completely agree. Yeah, so like start on this journey wherever you're right now. Like it doesn't matter, start small and build your way to a more successful future, and I'll be with you throughout this journey to hold your hand and get you there to the next level and the next stage. So with that, thank you for actually talking to me and like bringing this out. Like I've been struggling to create a video and to like kind of share my personal journey. So that's one of the reasons why I've got her here today, to help me through this process. So she's been very helpful with this. Yeah.
Plus I've been helpful with his branding.
Yes.
Just so you know.
So if you like the branding, it's all her. I've just been the one coming up with the trading content, and she's my branding ambassador and designer on the side. Yeah, so thank you again, and thank you, Kelsey, for helping me and inspiring me to start this channel.
Thanks for having me.
See you on the other side.